Anyone who plays Magfed paintball knows how important it is to have something comfortable to carry ammunition. Especially in Magfed, everything has to go in a magazine. So for us, whether you're running a battle belt or running a chest rig, having something comfortable is what is important. It took me a little bit to find that when I switched to Magfed paintball. Growing up, I used a pod pack for most of my career, and so initially I gravitated more towards a battle belt. But as I started to realize how much weight I was getting with my magazines, the battle belt itself started to reach its max capacity. And then as I came to realize that I had a lot of weight around my waist, that wasn't necessarily the most comfortable or the most efficient. So when I started to see that, I decided to jump into a chest rig. This is not the first chest rig that I have purchased. I believe it's the third or the fourth. It did take me a little bit of time to find something that was extremely comfortable. Even with the research that I was doing, the purchases that I made prior to this didn't meet the expectations that I was hoping. So when I initially decided to buy this, I was a little skeptical as to what my experience would be when I actually got it and was able to play with it. Before I go any further, I just want to state my relationship with Whiskey 24. I do not have one. I am simply a very satisfied customer that loves this product and wanted to do a review in the hopes that it helps other Magfed players who are looking for a chest rig to maybe consider getting one of these. While I would love to have more of a relationship with Whiskey 24, like I said, as of right now, I am just a happy customer reviewing a fantastic product, and so I paid for this with my own money. This wasn't sent to me for free or anything like that. So I just want to get that out of the way, so that way we can jump right into checking this thing out. So first things first, let's start with the straps themselves. I feel like that's going to be one of the biggest things. Now, looking at these initially, they're about an inch thick, and when I received these, I was a little worried just because of how thin they were. Anyone who's worn any sort of kit before, especially with it being load-bearing, if the straps themselves are not comfortable, it can make carrying this weight more gruesome than it needs to be. So when I had gotten these before I had tried it on, I was a little worried as to how well this was going to hold up once you've been wearing this for a couple of hours. To my surprise, this thing is extremely comfortable. Not only comfortable, but it is light as well. That was one of the first things I noticed when I put this thing on. Is just the other chest rigs that I had, you'd put it on and it would feel immediately like you're wearing a life vest. And to this day, this is still a very, very light and comfortable chest rig, and it's been almost a year. So they do offer upgrade options for these, and like I said, initially when I bought this, I wasn't going to spend any extra money because I wasn't sure how I was going to like the product as a whole. But knowing what I know now, especially with these being as thin as they are and as comfortable as they are, I'm very much looking forward to getting some of their more heavy-duty shoulder pads that have some Velcro options for patches and things like that, and just see how much better it makes this rig. So you're gonna get, jumping back into the straps here, they connect in the front, and as you can see, there is a nice Velcro panel back here that allows you to adjust the height of the strap, both straps, just to make sure that it's going to fit comfortably for you. And so it has that on both sides. And then you also have a secondary strap that sits a little bit lower, that sits right around the back of the waist in order to bring the chest rig a little bit more tight to the body. Now, jumping into the main part of this chest rig, we've got the magazine panel, which I really enjoy. Now, this rig in particular is made for Diadem and MG100 mags. I own both, and so that was really another big concern of mine. Anyone who owns an MG100 or Diadem and has used these mags knows how square and boxy these things are. In comparison to, before this, I had a TMC, and then I jumped to a PTR. And those are a little bit more closely oriented to an AR, AK mag. So when you're looking to buy mag pouches, there are a lot more options because you can convert something that's made for a real steel or airsoft shooter and use it in your gear because it will fit. These, you don't have as much luck. Like I said, they look like those old chalkboard erasers that you had as a kid, and they're just big and clunky, and there's not a lot of mag pouches that will accommodate them. And so that was one of the big issues that I was having, especially with some of my other chest rigs, was one, getting one that was comfortable, and two, finding magazine pouches that would work efficiently with the magazines. So this chest rig in particular has a heavy-duty elastic, I guess, like neoprene mag pouches. Now, when I had first gotten this, I was a little skeptical for a couple reasons. One, I was worried about how tight this was going to be. Was it going to make it extremely hard for the magazines to go in? Would I be able to re-index the magazines? How well will this hold up for? There was just a lot of questions in my mind that had a negative answer as opposed to a positive one. But after playing with this thing for about a year, it's fantastic. The material holds up really well. Most of the time when I'm done playing paintball, I make sure to pull all my magazines out when I store my chest rig, but being a human being, sometimes I forget. I've had these in the chest rig for a week at a time, week and a half, 2 weeks, and I come back to it and this thing still holds my magazines extremely well. It maintains its integrity, but doesn't make it extremely impossible to pull the magazines out, which I think is awesome. And another upside is it does allow you to re-index your magazines too. Now, that's not something I always do, but especially when you're playing a big game and you don't want to leave your magazine in the dirt, or your dump pouch is full, or you just don't shoot your magazine out all the way, it's nice to have the option to be able to put this bad boy back in and keep on rocking and rolling. So, all of those are pluses. Like I said, I've had this thing for just about a year, and it's held up extremely well. It retains the magazine, it's got really good retention, you have the ability to re-index, and it just is made specifically for the Dye Tactical magazine, which is a fantastic bonus. Like I said, you don't have to convert some weird piece of kit or something for another rifle. This is made specifically for your magazine, and that's one of the reasons why I think it works so well. Lastly, one of my favorite pieces on this is this fanny pack, or the manny pack, whatever you want to call it. We touched earlier on this Velcro patch here that holds the straps. Well, it also allows you to customize and add other pieces as well. I chose to add this bag, I think it's the bag 03 from the site, and it attaches right to the back here, Velcros right in, and then you have this piece that comes over top, and it keeps it nice and secured to the chest rig. Now, initially, I wasn't going to get one of these, but I had read on one of the forums that people were using this because it hung low and it kind of protects the jewels. Guys, you know what I'm talking about. This hangs in the right area to make sure that you don't get shot in sensitive spots. So that was initially the whole reason why I bought this thing. And the more I used it, the more I fell in love with it, because it just has room for all of your things. For example, on mine in particular, now on the front it has a nice square Velcro patch that you can customize it with whatever you want to customize it. I've got the SwampFox name tape, as well as a Barbarians patch, because I used one of their fanny packs, and then just your standard American flag. Just keeping it simple, but it does have a nice patch on the front, so you can customize it to however you see fit. Now, the inside, it has a nice big pocket, which I really like. Just nice big open admin pocket. But it does have some Velcro options, so if you want to buy any of the Whiskey 2.4 inserts or accessories, this thing is ready to go. I don't need any of that in particular, so I just use it as a general admin. But most of the time, what you'll find in mine is I always keep a microfiber, and then when we're out in the field, I'll put my keys in there, you know, I'll put my cell phone in there, things that I don't want to leave unattended up at the booth, I'll bring with me, and this thing keeps it protected. It has a nice little drain hole in the bottom as well, and it has a couple little loops, so if you want to attach any accessories, it's got 2 on the front, 2 on the side, and what I went ahead and did was attach the D-ring to one of the zippers here. You get 2 nice zippers with the hooks on them, and so I chose one here and dedicated that for a D-ring for my gloves, so that way when we're done playing, I just hang these gloves right on here. I've got my kit ready to go and I don't lose stuff. And then when I'm not doing that and I'm wearing my gloves all day, I'll take these gloves off and I can D-ring keys, anything important to that, tuck it to the inside of my rig, and then zip this other zipper down. And that way it's an extra safety feature when you're running around, so you don't lose your keys or something drops. If you're worried about losing it, you can attach it to the D-ring, and then it's just an extra little bit of security for your items. Because no one wants to go after a long day of paintball and search for your car keys that are dropped on the field. So, with that, that is pretty much this chest rig from top to bottom. Like I said, this is the turnkey rig. I believe it is number 14 is how they have it labeled on the website. And I went ahead and picked the M81 woodland camo pattern. Anyone who knows me knows that I am a sucker for anything woodland. So if there is an option to get it in woodland, I'm more than likely going to have it. Not all of my kit matches, and I kind of like that. The one thing I enjoy about paintball is you can make it whatever you want. You can make your experience however you want it to be. It's your story. So if you want to wear all kinds of matching kit, then wear all kinds of matching kit. If you just want to be a hodgepodge person like me, then be a hodgepodge person. It is your own world, and that's what makes it awesome. So, finishing this out, this is an awesome addition, especially if you were shooting a dye marker or a Planet Eclipse marker and you're having trouble finding something that fits these clunky mags. Whiskey 2.4 has you covered, especially when the new 20 round continuous mags come out from Planet, hopefully this summer. This should already be good to go and ready to accept them, so you shouldn't really have any weird transition once those release. But again, thank you guys very much for tuning in. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down below. I'd be more than happy to answer them for you. And then if there's any other gear that you'd like to see reviewed, I've got a pile of stuff that we're going to jump through, and so if that is on the list and you request something, I can let you know if we're planning on doing a review of that. If not, I can make an attempt to try and get a product so we can do a review for you. Please, 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 remember, smash that subscribe button. Turn on your notifications so that way you guys will be up to date with all of our videos and review. Again, guys, thank you very much for taking the time, and we will see you on the field.